Good morning. It is February 4th, 2024. This is the Paul Green Comedy PaulCast, episode 67? I think it's 67, everybody. So, I am back from my little mini road trip to San Diego where I had a very fun private show in the living rooms of the client who booked me as part of a birthday party for her husband, and got back into town. I have just been relaxing today and regrouping a bit and still keeping my goal of writing for 100 minutes or writing or practicing comedy. That is how I view it because I think writing is every bit as important as also practicing. What do I mean by practicing? It's just like literally rehearsing. It seems like I only practice comedy like when I do open mics. And, I don't think there's necessarily anything wrong with that other than the fact that, there's only so many open mics available. And it's hard to get out to an open mic, especially in Arizona, every single night and to get effective stage time. So what I have been doing is just practicing my routines, either literally in front of this camera, just alone, just practicing the routine and hearing myself say these routines and just trying to figure out the nuance and practice them, or just when I've been driving as well, just saying the bits that I'm working on while I'm driving. So I don't know. We'll see how that goes, but I want to keep my goal of practicing comedy 100 minutes a day. So practicing or writing 100 minutes a day for 100 days and see what happens. So I am just tacking on a lot of goals this year. I never do New Year's resolutions. I just figure, if something's worth doing, it's worth starting right now. I don't wait for any sort of cataclysmic, is that a word? Cataclysmic? I don't know. Some huge event or some milestone to start. It's like, nope, this is what I need to do. I'm going to start doing it right now. So I'm interested to see what kind of results I get from this 100 minutes of focused writing and or practicing stand-up comedy a day for 100 days. And obviously still doing my podcast daily. I'm posting reels every day, daily. I'm a little worried about my social media goals. As I said, I'm posting 3 reels a day, and I do 3 different types. So I take a clip from the long form version of this podcast. So I'll do a minute of that every day. And then I do a clip from what I just call something alternative comedy. Right now, I'm going through this event that I did where I dressed up like Lord Voldemort and interacted with a bunch of the patrons there. And then I've been cutting up one of my stand-up routines, my hour comedy special, into little reels. But that comedy special is almost over. I'm near the end. And my Lord Voldemort thing is going to start running out of material here probably in a couple of weeks. And so I'm a little worried about, how am I going to keep that content distribution strategy when all of that runs out? Because it's not easy to produce quality stand-up comedy clips. You run out of material or burn through a show. And then once the Lord Voldemort thing runs out, I won't have any more material from that for at least another year till I go out there and do it again. So I'm starting to just think about how I can prepare for creating more content that I can then cut up and distribute. It's also a little discouraging because it's not like anything's going particularly viral. some videos do better than others, but doing better than others means it's in like the thousands of views as opposed to like the tens of views or hundreds of views. But anybody who knows anything about what it means to actually have influence online, you got to be at least in the millions of views regularly. You got to just have something that is so compelling to an online audience that, every video you post goes wildfire. And I know content creators who have found those niches and have found their online voice and have had that type of success. Obviously, what I'm doing is not, as of yet, at least what the internet deems worthy to go viral. So, I'm in a little bit of a crossroads right there of, do I just keep doing me and just say, okay, well, this is my content, this is who I am, this is my comedy, I'm going to put it out there. And, I always try to improve it in terms of, the little bells and whistles that I do have control over, but like, well, my stand-up comedy is my stand-up comedy, and to try to like write stand-up comedy specifically for the purpose of putting online and having it go viral doesn't even make sense to me. Like, I don't even know what that means. So it starts to put me in this situation of, do I just keep posting what I'm posting because it is what I authentically want to do, and then, hey, if it's not viral, hey, it's not viral, but at least I'm being true and authentic and true to myself? Or do I try to create some sort of character or some sort of type of video that is a higher probability of virability? Probability of virability. Yeah. And I don't know. I kind of don't want to do that, but at the same time, I am interested in growing my online presence. And I will say this, I mean, even with the small numbers that I'm getting, I am growing. I'm just growing by ones and tens. You know what I mean? Except for YouTube. YouTube, I'm growing by, I've grown a couple hundred subscribers, which is actually a little surprising that I've even gotten that. I'm about to get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. What's funny is I've posted like 700 videos in the history of my YouTube channel. And I've been very inconsistent over the years. I've tried doing different little sketch ideas and video ideas and never really stuck to any one thing to really see if it would grow over time. And that's also something that I don't quite know the answer to. Is it something to where I just have to keep producing and putting out there what it is that I'm putting out there, and that eventually it'll just grow until there's some sort of tipping point? Or is it like, well, if it doesn't go viral right away, and, try something else? It's like, yeah, I don't know what that answer is. I don't know what the answer to anything is, guys. That's just the harsh truth, man. I feel like, at least for me, I want to feel like I know what I'm up to and that I know how it's going to turn out, but I just don't. And the more that I talk to anybody, even people who've been successful, it's almost like they don't even really know why what they did was so successful. I mean, it's like, they had an idea and they gave it a try and they put whatever effort into it and it was successful. But, just because the things that they did made them successful, it doesn't actually seem like any sort of success story is that ubiquitous. I don't know. Maybe there is. Maybe there is some sort of foolproof. Yeah, but I don't know. I am just as much as I can, trying to learn how to be myself, be okay with being myself, and put myself out into the world as authentically as my ego will allow, and fully acknowledging that, yeah, even then, I have some filters. It's not like I'm unbridled in every element of what I say and do. I have some bridling. So, but that's where I'm at today. I'm sort of in a little bit of I don't know, every time there's a great performance, there always seems to be a little bit of a lull afterwards, when now all the endorphins and all the dopamine and all of the happy chemicals are out of the body. And then I'm kind of just leapt back here going, okay, well, what's next? Had a really fun, high energy, high risk show on Friday that turned out well. Thank God. And, now it's just back to the grind. Yeah, I was talking to a buddy of mine, and I just said, getting a dream, as far as I can tell, or being successful at anything, is the least exciting part of every story, which is why every movie, when it gets to that part, glosses over it in a montage. I just saw a clip of Rocky because, Carl Weathers has passed away, who played Apollo. And so all of these clips of Rocky are showing up. And you look at Rocky 1, it's like, what's the interesting part of the story? The interesting part of the story is you have sort of this washed-up boxer who's going to go try to get a fight with the champion, right? So he has this big dream. That's the exciting part. The other exciting part is when he actually gets into the ring and the boxing match. What is the boring part? 12 months of him working out or however long, So what do? They do a 3-minute montage of, him. We're going to show him punching the meat. We're going to show him running up the stairs. We're going to show him, jogging through the streets. We're going to show him down in protein and eggs. What they don't show is he had to run up those stairs every day for 6 months. What they don't show is he had to punch that big cow, rib for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. He spent 100 hours just punching. And he spent 100 hours just running. And watching somebody run for, 30 seconds is exciting. Watching somebody run, an hour, day after 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 day is very, very, very boring. Watching me get my dreams is very exciting. Watching me sit at a native New Yorker or native grill and wings or whatever they call it now, with my earpods in, playing white noise to block out the music and setting a timer, and then just trying to write jokes and trying to think of whatever it is that I can think of that might be funny. And me standing in front of a camera and saying the exact same bit 50 different ways to just try to figure out every little nuance of every little word. And, if I word it this way, does it create enough of a setup? And is this punchline funny? And am I creating enough of a surprise? And am I being authentic how I'm saying this joke, or should I say it a different way? That's very, very boring. And when they make a movie of my life, all of that work is going to be the 3-minute montage. And all they're going to do is show like, oh, I have a dream, and here's all of the reasons why this dream wouldn't work out for me. And then they're going to montage that part, and then they're going to show me on stage at Madison Square Garden, making everybody laugh. And then the movie will end, and then I'll be dead. Okay. I mean, eventually, it's going to happen to all of us. So I would say if you're in the montage portion of your dream, then you're probably doing something right, because I actually think that is the crucial component of success, that those who are maybe not getting their dreams are maybe glossing over or maybe aren't willing to do. But then again, maybe not. Who knows? Maybe there are people who just like, no, I just showed up and crushed it and all my dreams come true. I don't know. I don't know. But that seems to be, at least for where I'm at and where I'm at in my journey, the part of the journey that I'm in and that I'm feeling it needs the most attention is the punching the big slab of meat hanging down in the meat freezer for the next 6 months before I'm ready for my fight with Apollo Creed. So those are my thoughts today, and rest in peace, Carl Weathers, and congratulations on an amazing career, and thank you for all of your incredible roles, and sending love to his family. And that's probably somebody who had a dream to become an actor and be a successful actor and fulfilled his dream, and we're all grateful for it. And I think that is probably something that is a good note to leave off on, which is, I know going for dreams can seem so selfish, and I know sometimes I struggle with that of just, it seems like I'm just being so vain and it's all about me. But I think the reality is anybody who does go for their dream and ultimately gets it ends up having a tremendous positive influence on the world, even if that was not their intention to begin with. Every successful actor or musician or artist or business owner who is able to create something that has influence, has a positive influence, leaves the world and the people who were able to be influenced by them going for their dreams in a better place. So, as vain and selfish as it may be, I am also hopeful that when I get all this figured out and I'm able to share my comedy, and my comedy has been refined and honed, and I've, put those 100 hours in for 100 days to hone the craft, that there will be people who see my comedy who maybe were having a bad day, and maybe I can, make their day a little better. So that is what I got for you today, my beautiful, lovely friends and dreamers out there, for February 4th, 2024, episode 67 of the Paul Green Comedy PaulCast. I love you all so much. Have a wonderful Sunday, and I will talk to you tomorrow.